So what you can do, you can just open your previous folder, which is lab 6, and paste it and rename that as lab 7. So your lab 7 right now, it will look like this. You can see it has this, and then when you resize it, it will look like this. It's not mobile friendly version or device friendly version. So we are going to make it device friendly. Okay, so I'll show you how we are going to change it. So it should, we're going to, after completing this lab, your website will look like this. You have seen how it looks like this. Now, after integrating the media query, at the end of this lab, your website will look like this. For tablet, this is for mobile, this is for tablet, and this is the regular one, which is PC design. Okay, so this is what you're going to work on. So open your Visual Studio Code. Open your current folder, which you're going to work on. So this is going to be your current folder. To open your index.html. So whatever you have, you can just keep it as it is. We are not going to do any changes in HTML. Okay, all our changes are going to be in CSS. So we are just going to work on CSS for this chapter. Open your CSS. Okay, so this for testing this, I strongly recommend. So preview will not work that much. So you have to test it after your coding. You have to test it in the regular website, not in show preview. Okay, we'll do one by one. But first thing, let's see what are the changes happening. So we are going to keep this design as a base design. We are going to keep this design as a base design. That means you are going to change all your code that you have already designed to this way. For PC and mobile, we are going to use media query. But for our regular, like the base code is going to have the mobile design. If you don't know what I'm speaking about, I'll show you the code. Look at that. So I have modified the code in a way that it works good for mobile. All this code that you see in the base code is going to be, or not this one. So this, look at this. So this is our current code, right? You can look at that. This is what we have without media query, but we are going to change it in a way that the regular code is going to work for mobile design, and for tablet design, we are going to add the media query. And for PC display, we are going to add the media query. Okay, here we are going to use grid components and all. So this is what we are going to do. So I recommend you to copy this and paste it and have it as a backup. Okay, so that we can check it again, because we are going to use some of the code from here, from our previous code. So just have it as a backup. Copy the code and paste it and have it as a backup code, because we may need to reuse some of those codes for our PC design. Now we are going to change all our code in a way that this code is going to work for mobile design. Are you ready? So now let's work on our first component for the mobile design, where it is box sizing, border box. We can keep it as it is. The body, let's have a look. This is going to be your body selector, right? The background color can be purple. We can keep it. And the font color, we can keep it as it is. And the font family also, we can keep it as it is. And the background color, we can keep it. And maybe add background repeat, no repeat. In case, why do we need to say background repeat, no repeat? Because when you have a small size, anyway, you don't need to repeat the things, okay? So background repeat, no repeat. Add that. Background repeat, no repeat. So add that code in case if it is size variation. The second thing, why did we use this with margin? Can you recall what is the purpose of this with 80% margin auto? To centralize the thing. Do we have any centralization here? It's fully very small size. Here, if you use 80%, that is waste of space. We don't need centralization, right? So we have to remove that because we have a very small space and we don't need to do that centralization. We want to use the whole space. Remove that code that will do centralization, margin, auto with 80%. You can remove that. And then you can keep this background image thing as it is. You can keep this background border as it is. But here, we don't need to worry about this min width, max width thing. And we don't need to worry about box shadow. Do you see box shadow here? No, very small. And where you will see there is no space around that body, right? There you can see. See, here you have space where you can see this shadow available. You can see that. But when you squeeze it, you don't see it, right? Do we need it then? We don't need it, right? So remove that box shadow and also remove the minimum width, maximum width because our width is very small already. So we are simply having these things. Okay. Okay. Next thing, header. Header, we can keep, let's see, let's look at the result. Header, we can keep the background color as it's same, right? Background color is same, we can keep it as. Font color, we are not changing as it is. Did we change the background logo? No, we keep it still. You need to follow, then only you'll be able to follow. Okay, did you see the background logo still we are using it? So you can keep it. The logo is in left side, no change. The background size is contained. Did we use contained before? Sorry. Okay, then we can keep it as it is. Sorry. So can keep it as it is. And then line height. Do we need to use the line height? Look at that. This is line height. You know the line height thing? Oh, this one is full. The actual website, if you see. Oh, this is line height. Okay, where is the actual website? We use this line height, right? So we don't need this space above and below. So we are going to remove that line height. So do you agree? We can remove this line height. And then we can remove this text indentation, which is 6 em. Why? Because we want to keep it central. We don't need the indentation. Okay. And then also border radius, we can keep it as it is. You can see the radius. Text align center, we can keep it. So just delete these two code. Line height, text intent. Delete these two code in the header area. Line height and text intent. You can just delete those two. We're keeping all other code. And then let's look at our nav bar. There are a lot of changes in the nav bar. Look at this. We have floated it. But what are we going to do? No floating. So first what we have to do then? Remove the floating. Remove the floating. First thing, remove the float. First thing about the mobile layout is no double column layout, single column layout. You have to remove all the floats. So which comes with this, right? We have floated and give some space to that floating. So remove the width. Agree? Remove the width. And then padding is fine. Oh, padding, we have 1.5 EM. We don't need that space. We have given some padding here, right? We don't need that padding here. So remove the padding. Or yeah, we can, I think we can keep the padding. Give me a minute. Here also we have some space. So padding, we can keep it as it is. What else we can remove? Font weight, bold, we can keep it. Is it same thing? Bolded, right? Yes, we can keep it. Margin top also we can keep it. Then what else we are removing? Maybe the text align. Do you see it is center, right? Right now, that is our target website. But right now, it is left aligned, right? So we have to center this. Check it and see whether you can see the difference. This is center and this is left aligned. Agree. So we have to center that. So add a code for text align center. Okay. Sorry, not equal. Colon. Okay, and then let's look at the other coding where if you look at the target design, still we have the hover. We don't need to change this thing because it is same. Navigate link, you don't need to change. Navigate hover, you don't need to change. Navigate visited, you don't need to change. And header A1. Header H1. Margin bottom. We have added that link, right? Making it hovering over. We don't need it for a mobile design, right? Making unnecessary linking, we can avoid that. So that means we can remove this. Give me a minute. I will verify. We can remove this header H1. Yes, we can remove this header H1 thing. Header H1. We can remove it. Give me a minute. I'll verify. So keep the header H1 as it is, not a problem. And nav, yeah, you don't need to change. Header, yeah, all those things doesn't, is not a space restricted. Even though it is not needed, it is not space restricted. So let's keep all those things as it is. It doesn't bother the space anyway. And let's come to the main, which is our, this area. Do we need to make any changes to bring this design? Think about it. This space, 1 pixel, 20 pixel, 20 pixel, 20 pixel is still there. Display block is still there. But do we need this? This is part of this thing, right? Margin left 190 pixel. We left for the main to push it to the right side, right? We don't need it, right? Shall we remove that? Yes. We can remove it because this is, we are not floating it. So we don't need to remove that. See, we don't need that space. Background color, you can keep it as it is. Padding left, you can keep it as it is. Overflow auto also, you can keep it as it is. So we don't need to make any changes other than removing the margin left, so that removing that extra space in the double column. After that, let's look at it. Let's go to the foot page. What did we do with this page? We have it in the section, right? Floating over, right? So now we don't need that floating, right? Look at that. We don't need to float it, right? So or else, if you float it, it is 3 column. Then it will create what? Horizontal scroll bar, which we don't want. So what we need to do here? Which one did that? This. Section tag. To be section tag did all those things, right? This is how we have connected. We are going to remove the section tag. We are not going to remove. Why? Because that design is going to be there for PC. That is why I didn't test the HTML, because it's that for PC. Everything is going to be for PC. Only for mobile and tablet we are going to change. So no change with the HTML. Everything is in CSS. So you guys agree that we don't need the section tag for, because as of now, what design we are working on? Mobile. So we don't need that. Take it off. And then H1, it is just a header, font. We can keep it, not a spatial. Anything related to spatial, you can spacious, you can take it. Here, this is space related thing, right? Do we need text shadow for a mobile? It's already small thing, right? Having a space, the shadow will not look good, right? So maybe shall we remove this for the mobile? We don't need it for mobile. We can have it for PC. Or did I have this for mobile? Still it is there, right? It's still there. Maybe it's up to you. It's up to you. I deleted it. Maybe we can delete it. Okay. Or I will add it again because the base code that has design has this. So sorry, let's add it again because 2 pixel. It doesn't do a big. Why we deleted the box shadow? Because only here you will change this. You will see this box shadow. Okay. Oh, this is not this design. Only there you can see the shadow effect. But here, even in the mobile design itself, you can see the shadow effect. So it is optional. Box shadow, it's not visible. So we deleted it. But this one is visible. So we can keep it. We can bring it back. Okay. It's optional. If you want, you can bring it back. Okay. Then H1, you can keep it as it is. UL list style type is fine. DT, you can keep it as it is. Name, do we need the name selector? Okay, we can keep the name selector, address selector and all. You can keep it as it is. Footer. Okay, let's look at the footer. What do we have in the footer? Do we need to make any changes in the footer? Look at the design and look at the code and tell me what we need to change. The footer doesn't need to have, it can have background color as it is. Family can be here. Text align center can be here. All other things can be here. I don't think we need to make any changes here. We can keep it as it is. Footer doesn't need any changes. Do you agree? You can keep it as it is. And then footer, size, address, all those things. All those things you can keep it as it is. Now let's come to the home image page. Now tell me, now you are going to tell me what do we need to remove. So you have followed along, right? Which one we have to remove? Margin left, very good. Remove the margin left from all the code. Remove margin left from all the code. You can keep the background image as it is. Height can be, you can use that. Repeat, okay. And then background size, okay. Background position left, okay. I think we can keep all other things as it is, okay. So now we are going to do some testing. So now we are going to test our code. In our website. So okay, we achieved something similar thing, but only thing that we missed is this nav, right? We need to have a definite, it is not needed, but optional. If we have a definite line between that, then it would be a little bit more visible, right? Do you agree? Shall we create a border here? So which code we have to change? So this is our target design, and this is what we achieved. So in home page, okay. So the food page, this is in the food page. Now it is in the home page. This is our target design. So now tell me which one you have to change to get the get those lines. Border, right? Nav border. So you have to add a border here. Bottom border, shall we say? Give me a minute, I'll check. What is your guess? Nav, li, very good. So because nav, we have all those things, but A is for tag, but nav, li, that deals with the list. So nav, li is where you have to add those borders. Do we have nav, li tag? No. Shall we create one? Nav, li selector. So do we need to add border on 4 sides or where we have to add the border? Look at this and tell me where we have to add the border. All 4 or border bottom, agree? Border bottom 1 pixel solid. And the color, we can have the repetition of colors. 6633FF. But I'm thinking of if what will happen if we add this border. Okay, now let's refresh our page and then see how it looks. Oh, yeah. Now it added the border. That is what we want, but still there is little bit space. So I'm thinking what will happen if we add this border in the nav A. You don't need to try it. Let me give a try. Save. Oh, A is only for this, right? Okay, so yes, then we need to have the nav li border. Okay, so that is how it looks like. Maybe you can do some padding adjustment so that it will have, see, since we have this padding thing, it has that space allocated. If you remove the padding only for that, padding 0, that should be okay. But this looks like a design. So did we achieve our mobile design here? Yes, mobile design is done. Let's move on to the next interesting thing, what it's going to be our media query. Okay, our media query selector. So media query selector, do you remember the code? At media, only screen is a traditional way to do it, but it's optional. You don't need to. Maybe you can use printer from your mobile. You may print the website from the mobile. Of course, you can do it, but it is optional that you don't need to say at media only screen. It's an optional thing. Even if you don't say it, it's fine. Okay, it's not a syntax error. So at media screen is optional. So you can simply say at media, still it will work. Only screen is an optional. Okay, first thing, shall we do for tablet? Then we'll do PC. PC, we know the target. What are we going to bring? We are not going to change any design. Whatever is our previous design, we are going to bring it back. That's it for PC. So first, let's start with the tablet design. What do you think a tablet size could be? Depends, right? Some tablets may be bigger. 680, 600. So here we are not using any kind of emulators. Here we are simply changing the viewport and then making the design. So is this our own? Yeah. So this is our current website. Okay. So it's going to be like this. Should look like this. This is how it looks like right now. So tell me what are the things we have to change. We don't need to do anything in the header. We need to do a lot of things in the navigation. And then we don't need to do here. anything here in the main, and then also we don't need to do anything in the footer. So most of the changes are happening where? In the navigation area, right? So let's work on that, and let's keep that minimum width as 600 as our tablet size. Most of the tablets, 600 to 680 pixel will be the width of the tablet. Let's keep that as our minimum width. We can, if we want, we can say maximum width 680 pixel, minimum width 600, but let's keep this as 600 pixel width. Okay, so I told you a lot of the things are going to be with the nav. So first thing is going to be nav UL. We are going to use display flex. Display, do you remember display flex? For one directional control, we can go for flex. Agree? For two directional only, we are going to go for grid. So do you think we can apply our knowledge in the flex and try this display flex? Yes, we are going to try display unit here for nav, for changing the nav. So let's try nav UL selector is going to be display flex. And look at this nav UL. Do we need to have a wrap or no wrap? Would you be like, we don't need wrapping of head. Home food, then foodness register. We don't want that, right? It's no wrap, right? It's row or column. Row or column. Where we are modifying, where we are customizing. Row wise or column wise? Row wise, right? So we have to say row. So which unit, which property will speak about this? Flex direction will tell you row. Flex direction, you can say row. Flex wrap, you can say no wrap or wrap. But which property will combine both?
Flex flow.
Flex flow, very good. So flex flow will combine both. So let's do flex flow here so that we can say row and no wrap. And then look at this. We know about the horizontal design, right? Horizontal space arrangement. Flex start, flex end, center, justify content, right? Just spaces in the space around, space between. So in that, if you look at the target design, what kind of value we might have used for our justify content? Space between, space around, center, flex start, flex end. Which value?
Space around.
Space around. Good. So it is called justify content. Why it shows an error? Display flex, flex flow, row, no wrap. Okay, anyway, justify content. There should be space here, or else it will throw error. You have to make sure. Oh, it's not curly brace. Okay, now I see why it throw error. So if you followed me, sorry that it is not curly brace. It should be parenthesis. Only for the C, it's not curly brace. It's parenthesis. Remove the curly brace and replace it with parenthesis. Okay, next thing, do we need to have a border here? There we created the border, but here do we need to have a border? No, right? Shall we remove the border? How can we remove the border from navel line? Navel line. Nav LI only we created the border, right? So how can you remove it? Border bottom? None. Agree? That will remove the border. Okay, that is done. And then look at our target website where did we bring our 3-column layout back? Here, we brought it back, right? So we have to create the section and we have to bring it back. Agree? So that's where you have to go to your backup thing, which you have copied. Go to the backup file and just copy that section. Padding left, padding right, float 30%. Just copy this and go to your style CSS. There, add this, bring it back. Okay. And the next thing, oh, okay. So instead of float, we are going to do something else. We are going to apply our grid component that we learned. So in our this chapter, we learned a new concept, right? Grid concept. We are going to apply grid to check our understanding on grid. So you can see if you learn flex and grid, you can replace float. Do you remember I mentioned that? Because float is a very old concept, old school. Okay. So we are going to remove the float concept and we are going to do the same, achieve the same thing using grid. So let's try that. Remove the float and let's try to achieve the same thing using the grid concept. So you're going to say a class. We may modify the component dot section main descendant selector. First, we have to use the grid concept. So let's say grid template, grid template rows. First, let's say row. Let's say auto. What do we mean by row? This thing. Only one row is there, right? Agree? How many rows are there? Only one row. Only one row is there. So here. So we can keep it as auto, but here there are 3 columns. Maybe grid template column, we may need to customize it. Columns, we can say whatever the current thing, just keep the current value. To say you don't need to modify whatever comes, that however it fills the space, just keep it as it is. You can say that. Okay. So let's open it and see how it works. Home page. Still still it is in the mobile layout. In terms of main, we need to do a few more things. Still it is not in the we may need to add one more thing here to bring it back. So try this in the section area. Still it didn't reflect. Try this. Grid row in the section area. Grid row 2 by 3. Why? Because what is row? 1, 2. Oh, here in the main selector, 1 by 2 by 3. Grid column. One by 5. Let's refresh. Okay, still it didn't reflect. Maybe I think I have to check whether do we have the dot section here in our class? I have to verify that. I think we don't have it. It doesn't reflect because of that. So wherever we have our this 3-column layout, that is here in food, we have a 3-column layout. In fitness, we have a 3-column layout. So in those 2 pages, we have to create the section class. So first go to food. Do we have div ID cover? There, go to the body tag and add a class called section. Add a class here, emitter section. You don't need to create a tag, it's already there. So just add body class. Inside that, add an attribute, a class attribute with the value section. Save this. Do the same thing for fitness page. Go to fitness page. Go to the body selector. Add a class. Save. Now let's refresh the page. It looks like this, right? At least we'll modify. At least it has the content. Now let's modify it. So then style.css. We have modified those components. Back section. Grid row. Okay, sorry, it is 1/5. That's why it looks like this. I had to keep it like auto, then it will solve that problem. In the section main tag, sorry, in the section tag, keep the grid column auto. That will solve the problem. Let's verify it once again. Okay. So section left grid row 2/3 grid column section main. Okay. The reason is the display grid will work only after this, right? Maybe that could be the thing. Try maybe I don't think whether it could be a problem or not, but anyway, I will try it and let you know. Maybe just specify the section after display grid. Okay, still it's not a thing. Let's see. What are the other steps that we have to change? Display grid, grid template, rows auto, grid template columns. Let's work on the H2. You know this H2? This one, we want it to be like this. 1/2. And then it takes all 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Usually it doesn't change, but by 5. You will not see a big difference with this particular code. It just pulls everything together here on this side. Maybe we may need to do something with the special ID. Do you have special ID anywhere in our food page? Do we have special ID anywhere? Maybe we have to add an ID. Let's add an ID to control that stuff. Check. Footer. Okay, so just go to your CSS and add a footer here. Add a footer here. Anyway, the section thing, we have to do a few more changes to get the design. But as of now, let's add a footer. And then say grid row auto grid column 1/5. Let's refresh our page and see how it looks. It doesn't make a big difference. It's already there. Okay, so we have to solve this problem. This column is not floating. Okay, we will solve that in the next class. Okay, so let's wind up here and continue it. Okay. So so this is where we have left. So tablet design, we have completed the mobile design and we are working on the tablet design. In the tablet design, uh, did you get this? You have to get it or else we'll see. In case if you didn't get that, make sure you have this DL tag has to be removed. If you have DL tag, remove that DL tags. At least DL, you don't need to remove the DT, DD and all. Just remove the parent, like starting DL tag and ending DL tag. So that will fix the problem. Okay, so you may have DL tag, opening DL and closing DL tag. So if you remove it, then if you click this footnote space, it will just show you in the floating options because we have coded that in our CSS with this section tag. We have coded in a way 2em section main. So with this coding, this should be able to make your code to float, the content to float. Okay. Next, we are going to work on the PC design where your current PC design takes the tablet mode. Okay, it looks like in tablet mode. Now we have to bring it back to our PC design, which we have designed previously. But that means this one. This is our original design. But the thing is like we are going to bring it back through grid template. You learned about grid complex, right? In chapter 8, we are going to bring it back. But instead of having this big code, we are going to do it shortly using grid concept. Okay. So we have to add the media query. Add the media query at media. Minimum width of the screen is going to be 1024 pixel. Okay, first we're going to work on the PC. So the first thing, a big change is the navigation should be in the vertical mode, right? That is what we designed. If you recall, our previous design was this, right? Having the floating. So first we have to bring it back. So how are we going to do it? Nav UL selector. We are going to say display flex and flex flow. We are going to say it is going to be, as of now, it is row, right? We are going to make it column so that it will become vertical. So we're going to say flex flow, flex direction, sorry, flex flow. You can say flex flow or flex direction, both should work. Column. So that it will bring it to column layout. You can verify it parallelly. Go to lab 7 and check. So we have brought it to the column layout. Now we have to bring it, adjust it to float. But as of now, we have brought it to the column mode and add some, because in our nav UL here, we have added some padding. If you go through, we have added some padding here. So let's bring back the same design. But here, nav UL. See, padding left 0, padding top 1 EM. We need to adjust here we have to adjust it. So let's bring the padding top 1 EM, padding top. And the nav should be aligned in the left. Text align. Left, as of now, it is center. You can see it is center. It is center, but this is what we want to do. So we have to align it to the left. And then we need some space in the left side, some little space. So we're adding some space. You can see in the original code, we have added that space. So let's bring back that space, padding left, 1 EM from the current size. Okay, so you can save this and refresh the screen and see where you are. Okay, we have added it to the left, added all those steps. Now we have to work on our cover. If you work on the cover, you can see this is the cover thing, right? So whatever we have in our cover selector, go back to your copied code where you can go to the cover selector. See, with 80% margin auto, background color, all those things. Almost most of the stuffs we have to bring it back except few things, because few things we are going to do it with the grid mode. Okay, so most of the stuffs we are going to bring it back, but few stuffs we are going to do it in different way. So add the cover selector. So margin auto. This is to center the layout with 80%. Box shadow and all we already have. So you can even copy and paste from your previous code. Box shadow, 1 pixel, 1 pixel. Border. Have to add the border, 1 pixel solid. Okay, here we are going to bring back the grid one. So see, this is where you have to focus. Give me a minute, I will show it in the code. Okay, now we have brought our template, this background, all those things. The only thing we have to do right now is add this floating. Okay, so previously we have done it in different way. We have floated it into the left background position, giving some 180 pixel like that. We have, sorry, where is the cover? Yeah, we did it in different way. Okay, but right now we are going to do it using the grid concept. So add grid. To add grid, you have to say display grid. So in the column, we are going to split it into two ways. This column is going to take 180 pixel, and whatever space remaining, the second column is going to take. This is what we are going to say. If you recall grid template column, how can we say that? There are only two columns. The first column is going to take 180 pixel and the second column is going to take whatever space is needed. How can we say that? Grid template columns 180 pixel and the remaining space auto. Does this code make sense? Right? Grid template columns. First two columns are there. The first column is going to take 180 pixel and the second column take whatever space remaining. That is auto. So the next one we are going to say rows and all. We are going to align it, but you can simply say it if you're not sure. If you're not doing anything, you can say grid template rows auto. So you can recall the cover thing, whatever you have done right now, you're going to do the same thing. Okay, we have to work on few stuff, but as of now, the thing that we are trying to do, stand now we have to work on the overall layout. Okay, overall layout that we are going to change. So the overall layout is going to look like So this is where we are going to bring our grid template thing. So in our overall layout, the header is going to take, see now look at the row 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Do you think there are 5 rows in terms of design? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Agree? And how many columns are there? 1, 2, 3 columns are there. So based on this, we are going to specify the uh, grid template. Okay. So the header is going to take what kind of rows? The grid row for header starts with 1 and ends with 2. Agree? For the header, how many columns it takes? 1, 2, 3. All columns, right? So that is what we are going to do. Header is going to take the grid row 1 by 2 and grid column is going to be 1 by 3. The nav is going to take, go back, look at the nav. The nav is taking in terms of row 1, 2, 3. Actually, we are planning 2 to 3. 2 to 3. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 to 4. It is going to take 2 to 4. So we can say the nav is going to take grid row 2 to 4. And the column, grid column is going to take, can you tell me what column it is taking? 1 by 2, right? The first 2 columns. It starts with 1 and ends with 2. So, okay. So the next thing for the nav, after that, we are going to use div tag where we have kept the image. This is the div part, right? So div part, so div, if you check the rows and columns for this image part, you can see this is going to take 2 by 3 in terms of row and also 2 by 3 in terms of column. Agree? So the div part is going to take grid row 2 by 3 in terms of rows in terms of column. The main tag is going to take, this is the main area. So the main area 1, 2, 3. So 3 to 4 and then 2 to 3. Agree? Yes. The footer area can finish 4 to 5, which is the last one. And grid column is going to be 2 by 3. So this is how simply you can connect everything, and then that will take care of all those things. You see how magically it works. If you write this code, then we brought our design back. Okay, with this simple line of codes, we brought our design back. That is how the grid concept is very compact. So I'll show you the code once again, but I want to show you how you have to take your screenshot for your lab submission. So this is your PC design. You have to take a screenshot in the normal mode, and then you have to bring it back to the tablet mode. Does it take away your tablet mode? Yeah, the tablet mode. So this is the tablet mode and this is your mobile mode. You have to take a screenshot in this mode. You have to take one screenshot in this mode and then you have to take a screenshot in this mode. There should be 3 screenshot in your food page, because in your food page only you have this 3-column layout. So go to your food or fitness page and take a screenshot in the mobile mode, take a screenshot in the tablet mode, and take a screenshot in the mobile mode, PC mode, tablet mode, mobile mode in the food page. So that is going to be your output. That is going to be your submission for chapter 8.